I'd like to call to order the Palm Springs Unified School District School Board and Foundation Subcommittee meeting on April 20th, 2023 at 3 p.m. It's also being live streamed. Can we have a roll call, please?
PSUSD Board of Education President John Girardi.
Here.
PSUSD Board of Education Board Member Karen Cornett.
Here.
Foundation Director Ellen Goodman.
Here.
Foundation Board President Mark Gauthier.
Here.
Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mike Sweezy.
Here.
And it looks like Board Member Kathy Bush is absent today.
Correct.
Okay. Hope everybody's had time to look over the agenda, and so could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move, Karen.
Okay, Mark, and we have a and Mike seconds.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Are there any comments or email comments?
We have not received any electronic comments.
Okay, thank you. Now we go on down to information and discussion, and I'll turn it over to Ellen Goodman.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just, I don't know if I have sharing capacity. Let's see if somebody could help me do a share. Oops, thank you, Eddie. Okay, we'll start first with our financials. Can everyone see this document? Okay, and I'm just going to make that a little larger, and we'll kind of bring it down here a bit, just so we can bump that up.
Now we
How's
can
that?
really see it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it too big?
No. It's much better. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is what we put together. It is our, our actuals against budget. This is revenue. These are all revenues. Some of this will look familiar. I don't think I showed this last month, but it is from July 1st through April. Now, April 24th, I'm not really quite sure how we got that date, but let's just say it's definitely through April 19th. I can tell you that. And so we'll scroll down here. The numbers in red, just so you know, those are numbers that have been allocated via the supple gift that was received in December. And so $20,000 was put in the arts category. That is for 4 high schools. They each get $5,000, and they are happily spending that money on all of the things that they wished that they could get that they never could, and now they can. So they're having fun with that. And $30,000 was put into the MTU bucket as well. We're lagging, I will say, for instruments. Where are we budgeted $70,000 and we're at 11, and I don't see making that $70,000 number. And that's what's really great about the foundation using this format to look at its actuals against its budget, which all organizations do, where we overestimated what we thought that we could bring in. And I don't think it has anything to do with a lack of interest. It really has to do with our office capacity to be able to generate those dollars. We had just too many balls in the air, and having a senior staff member out for so many months, it was really difficult. To put a little light on this particular line item, our last part of our 3-year kind of scaffolding for elementary school instruments is pianos, keyboards for 5th grade classrooms. And the good news is we actually raised more money last year than we had budgeted. And so we are sitting at about $55,000 to purchase keyboards. And our goal is $80,000, about $83,000. So we anticipate that we'll be able to fill that gap by the end of the school year. So where this number doesn't look as nice as some of our other numbers, we will make our goal for our 5th grade keyboards. And I'm very excited about that. Come August, our 5th graders will have keyboards. And then you'll see our Protect the Arts, which is for field trips. So out of $130,000 that we had budgeted, we've received $129,421. We'll scroll down to academics. You'll see our classroom grant numbers, our advanced technologies, and these should be indented. Inside of advanced technologies is robotics, 3D printers, and drones. And we had a very successful fundraising year for that project. And our essay contest, we actually anticipate receiving a little bit more money since this year we picked up the Rancho Mirage Writers Festival as a sponsor, along with our founder, the Western Wind Foundation. So we think that Western Wind Foundation will make one more gift before the end of the school year. Our Native Studies will make that number. We just need to invoice the tribe for reimbursements for that. And that's the Kiewit event and the field trips, the third grade field trips to the Indian Canyons. We'll go down to our college and career readiness. We expect a little bit more money in for scholarships, so we think that we'll get very close to that $100,000 in scholarships, since we have a few scholarships that have been pledged, and we'll be collecting them by the end of the school year. And that scholarship money actually doesn't go out the door until August of the 23-24 school year. The Race Academy, this number is based on the resale of their vehicles that they've been working on. So you might remember we had a funder who allocated money, who pledged and donated money for the purchase and the repair and the resale of cars, and that the Race Academy gets to keep that money. And that money then gets to create a revenue stream for them where they can buy more cars, repair them, and then resell them and continue to make money to be able to afford their school field trips. So that is their bucket of money. Right now, the foundation has to work with the titling and to make sure that risk management clears the third-party service of the vehicle. The vehicle needs to have a third-party service certification before it can actually be sold. And that needs to happen before the end of the year. So we're hoping that that $25,000 will come in by the end of the year. Out of the $150,000 that we have budgeted, we're sitting at about $89,000. Our wellness centers, we've of course exceeded our goals there. And our general administration, that's where we put our board member contributions. And you'll see a couple of other things. You'll see our fundraising is pretty much a placeholder. So that's just a placeholder where all things that come in that right now are not restricted will sit there. And we placed 100,000 of the supple dollars in there so that we had that flexibility. The 1.8 million has been moved to the investment account. And we'll go down to our shoe campaign, which just kicked off, which I'll talk a little bit about that. We did kick off the shoe campaign. And I would say it's raised about $2,000 in the week that it has been kicked off, because we did receive money from Anderson Children's Foundation and we received money from Bighorn Care, and that got us to about $23,000. Parent engagement, the foundation holds money for parent engagement the same way the foundation holds money. I think the HBCU college tours are a really great example when the foundation purchases the gift cards so the kids can go on their trip. And so these are various buckets of where the organization is holding funds and distributing them out. We have a total of $2,928,267. And if we actually take out the planned gift, the supple estate gift, we are at $928,267. And you'll see against our budget, which was $780 for the year. So we are very optimistic that we'll see another at least $78,000 or $79,000 to get us to that 3 million mark, or the 1 million mark in our fundraising. And I'll pause there in case there's any questions or comments.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. I have to tell you, thank you very, very much. It is so nice to see, hey, Kathy, $928,000 against a 780. And during COVID, we limped along at $450,000. And so there's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of enthusiasm. And we, of course, don't want to lose that. So we're very ambitious for the year ahead. Really quickly, you might have seen an email come across for save the date for One Night Out. And this year it's One Night Out Bollywood. Last year it was One Night Out Havana. And I'm just going to say that I think every organization really hopes that whatever event they produce can turn into a franchise, that it really just sticks and it becomes a thing. And surprisingly, One Night Out Havana, I think, is that franchise. It it exceeded our expectations. We didn't plan to make any money. We were willing, we wanted to break even, but if it took a little loss, we thought it'd be well worth it. It eked out a little bit above and provided a small net, which was just fantastic. And I think from the image of the save the date, we're getting some really great feedback for next year's event, which is October 7th. It's first Saturday in October, and it's at the Palm Springs Air Museum. And then we are having our very first alumni committee meeting next week. And if you remember, the event is produced by PSUSD alumni. And we started with a very small core group that represented graduates from the 60s and 70s, 80s, 2000 and above. And now we want to diversify even more to make sure that we have all of our high schools represented at the table, and that we expand our committee a bit. So if you know any PSUSD graduates, send them our way. The next thing I'll talk about is our Shoes for Students. That campaign has also launched, and you might have seen some Facebook or emails around that. We plan to run that through the end of the year. We are working with Converse. They are on board, communicating with us all the time, and they have pledged the same financial support as they did last year. Lisa Todd and her team will collect all of the sizes, and that we'll be able to then deliver to Converse. They'll ship shoes to us in June, early July, and then the distributions will be back to school distributions in August. And then also all year round. I mean, there have been a few home fires, there have been families who have been displaced, and they have all requested shoes. So we do distribute, we expect to distribute most of those shoes throughout the entire school year. And again, they will be Converse tennis shoes. We are in essay contest mode. Our essay contest completed. The narratives were uploaded right before spring break. We received 189 essays from 7th graders. This is the Western Wind essay contest. And the topic was overcoming adversity. All 6 middle schools have participated, and out of all of our 7th grade teachers, 13 teachers participated. I mentioned before, Rancho Mirage Writers Festival has joined us, which is very exciting. And I know that the founding group, which includes Western Wind Foundation, Terry Kedover, Barbara Boxer, and now it includes Jamie Kabler and Debbie Green, who is a part of the Rancho Mirage Writers Festival. I know they're going to want to expand this to be valley-wide. There's a good chance we'll just hold on to it one more year at PSUSD, and then it'll include all the schools. And I don't think any of the awards will change as a result of its growth. As a matter of fact, we see more money has come in to be able to cover some of that growth.
Ellen, were you able to change the date, or is it still is it May 9th still?
Yes, great question. And we were unable to change the date. All of the dates at the Air Museum were booked in that week, and we couldn't change it. And so we're going to continue, sadly, with the 9th. I'm very sorry about that. It's a very difficult time of the year with all of the graduations and all the events, and we're trying to squeeze. As a matter of fact, just today, we moved the SMART graduation reception because Rancho Mirage High School has their scholarship night. So we had it on the 22nd. It's now on the 25th of May. So, and we're also trying to squeeze in our year-end event in those dates as well. And I think we're looking at May 31st for that. But I will have to send you an email with that update. I'll share something with you about the essay contest I thought was interesting. I saw Barbara Boxer yesterday, and I asked her if she noticed anything different in the essays. It's the same topic, different kids. And she said, actually, she had not. She said deaths in families, economics, homelessness, immigration, deportation of fears, all of those things, COVID, some of still the effects of kind of COVID, all of those things seem to come up in the essays this year, the same as they had last year. I'll talk really quickly about Jazzy. So Jazzy distributed $13,000 in scholarships yesterday at their Jazzy class at Desert Hot Springs High School. That was very exciting, went to 5 students. And Rancho Mirage High School distributed, they awarded, I should say, we don't distribute till August, but they awarded $10,000 right now to Rancho Mirage High School students. And they will match the Desert Hot Springs. So there's more scholarships for the Jazzy students at Rancho Mirage High School. I did meet with the principal at Rancho Mirage High School to talk about modeling Rancho Mirage High School's Jazzy program the way Desert Hot Springs has modeled it. And the way they have modeled it was they have found 2 individuals who work on their campus who are willing to come in early on Wednesday mornings to facilitate the Jazzy program. They spent last year working with Lonnie Argovitz and shadowing her to really understand and learn the program. And Lonnie is in the class this year, and they facilitate it while she is in the class. And this is a migration, so Lonnie can eventually retire. And we would like to be able to have things in place. So Jerry Argovitz and his colleague, Barry Goldstein, who is been working with him at Rancho Mirage, that they can retire and we can have that model in place there. Now the program is endowed, and so the money comes from that endowed program, those endowed funds for the program, for the compensation for the individuals. I'll talk really quickly about SMART. So we are coming down the home stretch with SMART. A couple of updates, which I might not have given at the board meeting. I might have, but I'll repeat myself. So we will have the completion event. It's now on May 25th. That's a reception for the students and the families where they'll get all their awards. It's at the Air Museum from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot this year. It's very interesting. At Desert Hot Springs High School, we have retained all of the mentors. They're strong mentors. They're enthusiastic. They work really well with their students. And the students, some of the students haven't been as consistent as I guess one would like them to be. That's what we saw at Desert Hot Springs High School. The other thing around Desert Hot Springs High School is that our support staff that is assigned to us, a counselor and an AP, were out on medical leave. And so we didn't get the information the way we would have liked to. And that information is FAFSA nights, testing days, when will the students be able, when are they required to attend something else and not attend that Wednesday morning? I mean, that's why we use the liaison, is to really help us with the programming. So there were a few little hiccups along the way there. I had a great meeting with Omar and Vera. We talked all about it and how we can make it look, access that information next year a little differently. The other thing we talked to DHS about that Rancho Mirage put in place, and I resisted, I confess, at Rancho Mirage, Teresa wanted a very targeted group of 10th graders to be able to solicit to join the SMART program. And I've always been the kind of person, more is better, get me in front of 100 people. I guess this is, get me in front of 100 people so I can raise more money, get me in front of 100 people so I can get more applications. But Teresa said no, she wanted to be very targeted. And an example is she had 50 students very targeted at an assembly for SMART for the next cohort. And out of the 50, 25 applied. At DHS, we had 150 students and only 8 applied. So Omar Vera and I talked a lot about it, and we agreed that we would move forward modeling Rancho Mirage. And so very targeted. The other thing Desert Hot Springs has put into place is their school has a program that Omar has created called Rising Kids for 10th graders. And so he really believes those 10th graders this year who are really working with him in this program would be a perfect feeder into SMART. And then that would give us a very targeted group of students. So the way this will work is we will spend the summer outreaching and soliciting for mentors. Come October, we will have our assembly with our 11th graders and our application process. We will train our mentors November, December, and we will start SMART January 2024 with a cohort of 11th graders. In the meantime, Omar asked if our mentors would, after they took the summer off, before they started in January, would they consider doing a series of workshops for seniors who didn't get a chance to be in the SMART program. And we had a meeting yesterday, and it seemed to go over very well. And the mentors, the team leads really liked that idea. And Omar said once a month on a Wednesday morning, and he outlined between August and December what would happen each month. And we know that UC schools, their cutoff is November 30th, and we know that to update a FAFSA, you have until December. So that went over really well. So it looks like, as soon as the schools confirm, that there's a good chance that our mentors will work with seniors August through December, and then they'll start with a junior cohort in January. Let's see if I covered everything for that. Yep, got that. Any, should I pause or keep going? Keep going. Scholarships, okay. We are in scholarship season. We so far have just, we're in the process of downloading and compiling all the scholarship applications that we've received. We received 51 of them so far. There's more coming. We're very excited about that. We should have our scholarship selections in the next few weeks. What we do is we provide a short list. So if we get 20 students that apply for a scholarship, we provide a short list. And then if we are in relationship with the donor, we send a short list to the donor and we let the donor choose the finalists. And so that's how that'll work this year. And really quickly, 2 more things. We meet every week, well, now it's every other week, in strategy meetings, and we've been meeting for 2 years. We have accomplished everything that we have set out to do. It's very, very exciting. The next conversation we are asking ourselves and that we're wrestling with, and this is for the next 3 years as we build a 3-year plan with Mike and Simone, is what can the foundation do? You know, what is the capacity of the foundation and what's the community's support of the foundation? So what can the foundation do and what are the foundation's ambitions? And these are things that the strategy group will bring to the foundation board so the board can really wrestle with that question or those questions. And then the very last thing, I mentioned this a while ago around TED Ed. And I just want to give you a quick background, a kind of a backstory around TED Ed. And it's an ambition of schools to have TED Talks or TED Ed, TED students, TED teens. And so, I don't know, I didn't ask permission. I decided to apply for a TED Ed license. I figured if we got it, great. And if we didn't get it, no foul, right? No harm. And we got it. We got the license for TED Ed. And so we just got that announcement April 1st, which from a branding perspective, if you want to think about essays and storytelling and narratives and kids really being able to express themselves, it's a very exciting thing. And Nellie Kaufman Middle School, as ambitious as they are, really want to launch a TED Ed student talk. And so I've been going back and forth with Karen about that. And there are 2 community members who would like to beta test, not the TED, because the TED is a year-long program, but they would like to beta test just to kind of get in and work with the kids on how they might actually develop their own storytelling, like their own voice. And it's not digital storytelling. It's really not essay or narrative. It is, what is your topic that's important to you? The research that you need to do on that topic, the story you need to write about that topic, and then telling that story to someone. And they have in their Cougar Den equipped to do all the filming. And then they are willing to have a small assembly at the end of the year where 1 or 2 student volunteers would tell their story. The TED Ed is slightly different. If you do go forward with TED Ed, you are required to have an assembly at the end of the school year. And it's a minimum or maximum of 100 people. It is not something that anyone can pay for. It's usually family, students, colleagues, friends come and actually hear that. But we just got the announcement April 1st. So I will actually end on that note and turn it over to Mark and Kathy if they have anything else to add.
Always, Ellen, beware announcements that come on April 1st.
Oh, my.
For just a rule of thumb.
You know, it really came on March 31st, but thank
Okay,
you
there
for
you
that.
go. Okay, good.
God, you made me nervous.
Well, Ellen's always a hard act to follow, so I'll just share a couple of smaller points. This is the time of year that we get gifts from neighborhood associations out of Modernism Week tours. And we just got a nice gift yesterday from the Indian Canyons Neighborhood Association for the first time, which happens to be my neighborhood. And it was Ellen's they like to present a check. And so it was Ellen's suggestion that they attend the very beginning of our board meeting in June to do a little photo op. And so I've invited them to do that. We'll see if they accept. But I love the fact that we give the neighborhood associations, which are peopled by individuals who don't necessarily have kids in the district, and it creates an awareness with, of the district around whole new populations. Our last month's planned giving lunch continues to provide benefits. We just got a nice 4-figure gift yesterday from a family foundation from somebody who was at the event. And in addition to considering planned giving, they provided us this very nice gift. So money is coming in over the transom, as we used to say. And last but not least, at our next board meeting, we're going to vote on 2 documents that we need to have in place for Charity Navigator. Charity Navigator, you'll remember, is the organization that rates and monitors charities. And we got slightly dinged because we didn't have 2 documents in place: whistleblower and document retention. And so Jerry Hips on our board has put together those documents, and we'll adopt those in June. Or I should say April. I'm 2 months ahead. I've been fighting the flu for a solid month, so I'm just emerging. So forgive my voice. And that's it for me, Kathy.
I don't have anything much to add. I was going to congratulate you on the 2, the money coming from the Modernism Week, the $2,000 there, and going after that. I'm just always amazed at how many directions we go and manage to find these little nooks and crannies to insert our fingers and grab some money out of them, for the benefit of the kids. So
People want to give.
They do. And it's a compelling, cause. And I think the district presents itself well and makes it an easier sell.
Absolutely.
Great. Do we have any other comments? John, do you have anything to say?
No, for once, I really don't. Thank you. Just great job, everybody.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Last thing I wanted, Karen, just one more thing I wanted to say is it's been on our radar to reach out to Charlie Irvin and get together with him and share about the foundation. We just haven't had a chance, and I've been sick, but that's definitely on our agenda.
Great.
Could someone actually send Mark Charlie's contact information?
Yeah,
I
that would
don't
be
know if
great.
I have it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Monica.
Okay, do we have any other comments? Dr. Sweezy, do you have anything else to add?
No, just that we're, back after spring break. Simone and I've really been enjoying our cameo appearances with the foundation board. And a big thank you to Mark, who does a great job facilitating. And they're always able to squeeze us in at the beginning, but that's been, I don't want to speak for the foundation, I'll just speak for myself, but very, very helpful to also spend a good 30 to 45 minutes each month with the foundation board talking about the district and the needs in the district. And I think that's just further strengthening the bond. So that's been a real pleasure this year.
We feel the same way.
Thanks, Mark.
And myself as a Board of Education member, it's really been delightful to see how well the board works with our administration and with the Board of Education. So thank you very much. It's to benefit our children, and that's what
For
we're
sure.
there for. So that's great.
One thing we did talk about it, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that back, and that is we used to meet in person during like a study session at least twice a year. I think once in the fall, once in the spring, and I know that our board would enjoy that if that's an opportunity for us.
Yeah, I'm so glad you reminded us of that, Ellen. I think it's another good example of some of us struggling to even remember what we used to do pre-COVID closures, because I think from both sides, from the cabinet side, from the school board side, and from the foundation board, it always was a nice opportunity to just talk to each other. We would eat, we'd do an activity, share some information, and so we can definitely look for an opportunity to do that again.
Great.
Great,
Good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no other comments. Number 6 is approval of the Board Foundation Subcommittee meeting minutes from March 16, 2023. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Mark, a second? Ellen, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, or corrections? All right. The setting of the next Board Foundation Subcommittee meeting is May 18th, 2023 at 3 p.m. Oops, sorry. My filter fell. Whoops,
Oops. Okay.
there. Anyway, so
Would you repeat that date? Sorry.
it's May 18th at 2023.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, May 18th, 2023 at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. The last one, if no one else has anything to say, may we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
you.
Second. Kathy, a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.